North.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live second round coverage of the California Classic. We're off and running here, and let's take you down to the action at hole number 1. On the first tee, our featured golfer, Frank, has to be brimming with confidence.
They have to feed off the round from the previous day, Rich. It was a very, very good performance, and we're going to soon find out, see what these opening swings are like.
Excellent opening tee shot right in the fairway. Getting set to play the second shot here at the first hole.
Should be safely on deck.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Settles in over the putt.
Great start.
Frank, the second hole is only 371 yards. What's the challenge here?
The bunkering. This is really well bunkered. You'd expect that for a hole this short. If it's well bunkered, it means that it's vital to get it on the fairway.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Now getting ready for the approach shot here at hole number 2. So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie.
It's a cruel game.
That's how you maintain momentum, to make those putts for par. Moving to the third hole to par 4 again. This one 471 yards.
Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. So, Frank, we know that the players petitioned back in the 80s to move the PGA Tour event away from PGA West. It's coming back in 2016. But what did Pete Dye say about golf courses being fair or unfair?
Well, he said it actually, he tried to say it with a chuckle, but he always said that golf's not a fair game, so why build a golf course that's fair?
Do you agree with that?
I do now. I think everything has to align itself together. When you looked at the equipment that the players were using, wooden drivers and balls that spun around, they had trouble on windy days, and these golf courses, they really were brutal. But I think now that the ball goes further, the introduction of the metal-headed driver, the utility clubs, all of those things have made these golf courses really come back into favor again. Look at what Jason Day did in 2015 at the PGA Championship at Whistling Straits on a Pete Dye golf course. That's how you have to play the game now. We have to embrace change.
How difficult is this golf course at PGA West? Well, it was ranked 8th on this year's Golf Digest, America's 20 toughest golf courses. Frank, we're not at the beach, we're in the California desert, but I'm staring at plenty of sand right here.
Yeah, looks can be deceiving here. This is where somehow you do have to focus on exactly where they put the flag, and that's on the green stuff. Green is 36 paces deep. If you can just focus on that and don't let Pete Dye's sort of weirdness with all that snaking bunkers left and right, then just try and approach it as a straightforward par 3. I know it's easy to say, hard to do.
Superb shot.
That's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Well, here we are at the 5th hole, a 535-yard par 5 for the long-hitting professionals. Frank, certainly not a long test. What is the challenge here on this hole?
It's another example of great design by Pete Dye. He'll give you the trouble on the left on the tee shot, and then he moves the trouble to the right on the second shot. It's going to hit you one way or the other.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Now the second shot to the par 5.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
What a shot. Setting up for an eagle here.
These putts keep the round together. Wow, Nate Siegel makes everybody else look sort of average, Frank.
And look at the size of that lead on the leaderboard now.
What a hole this is. 255 yards, par 3, water everywhere you look. This is a real test.
Yeah, it's called Amen, and whatever religion that you subscribe to, you better say a prayer before this one. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
He'd settle for par here. This from about 10 feet.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
We're at the 7th now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, you just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific. That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, this is an important approach shot because our featured player was really good early, a little bit shaky of late. This is a point in time where you need to get it back.
Yeah, you almost need to stop. Just stand still for a second. Almost just flush it out, because at the moment you're starting to look right and left at the trouble. Let's get back to what worked. Let's start looking where we want the ball to go, where the flag is, and start going there.
This has been just a pure display of ball striking all day long. Has not missed a single green, every one in regulation. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. 555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
And now the second shot here at this par 5.
Now the approach shot here on this par 5/8.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Locked in on the read and the speed. Go ahead and do that for birdie.
Frank, the par 4 ninth at 452 yards is all you want.
You could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side. But oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power? Oh, huge with a capital H.
Busted that.
Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Wow, I thought that was in. So just a formality here. Continues to roll it very well all day long. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Now the second shot here at 10.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. He's made it.
Now at the long par 5 11th. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green. Little pitch up there, but even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side. So you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Getting set now over the putt. Well, go ahead and do that. Eagle on the card.
Now the par 4 12th, only 363 yards, but Frank, it is intricate. There's a lot involved, isn't there, in playing a hole like this?
Yeah, I think this is where you have to work out, which clubs do you hit the best? Are you better with a 9-iron, are you better with a wedge? Because that's the distance you want to hit it to. That's how you can be aggressive, even when you're laying up.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Frank, what's the right play here? Second to the short 12th.
Short flags, obviously got to keep it on that front section. When you've got a back flag, you've got to get it over that little faint ridge that's in the middle of the screen. Got to go past that.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Now a 7-footer. Right in the heart.
Now at the par 3 13th, and Frank, in some ways, this is vintage Pete Dye, isn't it?
It is. His use of wooden bulkheads, plus the fact that he gives you that diminishing line. The further you go back into this green, you realize it's a larger carry. It just sort of reeks of something that's hit to the front mid-right of this green.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Frank, a par here, that's just fine.
Fourteenth hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. Two options really: poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play, 290, 300-yard category, and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge in.
Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, that had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
Frank, what's the key here? Second shot at 14.
Green sits up a little bit, well protected by those bunkers there. A nice high, soft landing shot.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Chalk that up as a birdie for the scorecard.
Frank, if a player needs to make a big move at the close of the round, how could they get at this whole location and make a birdie? They call this turning home.
Yeah, I think that's where you have to be a little more aggressive off the tee shot. A drive of 280 yards can certainly take those two bunkers down the left out of play. There is one in the distance down there, 350 yards, so even the longest hitters can still hit driver down there. You imagine pumping one down there sort of 340 yards. Now you turn a long hole into a drive and wedge. That's how you get aggressive.
Second shot now at 15.
This one is definitely heading left. Looks like it is going to end up in the rough. Pretty good result right there, considering
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, it really did.
so a tester from 4 feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Now the par 5 16th, dog leg, and it's at 600 yards, so a little bit of an advantage to the big bomber, Frank.
Yeah, they can almost take a big chunk out of this hole by going down the left side. If you can take that bunker out of play, that's a big hit to get past that. And all of a sudden, shortest point between two places is a straight line. You've really reduced this hole into something closer to 570 yards.
Good contact, good result. Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high, others might want to play it a little lower and along the ground.
Really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich. And really, that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions. But conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine.
Now his third, staring right at the green. This is a good-looking shot. This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Par 3 17th. It is the signature hole here at PGA West. They call it Alcatraz with good reason. You can get locked up here and they'll throw away the key. It's a place that has spoiled a lot of rounds through the years.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Beautiful touch, nice putt.
Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long, water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's three groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. These putts keep the round together. Count that for a birdie. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
Naruto, over and out.